a lot of our videos on Palestine are being shadow banned. A lot of our videos are being shadow banned. We, on some of the videos, are getting hundreds of views, where normally it would go into the tens of thousands of views. Now, I don't care about the clicks. I don't care about the likes. I don't care about the positive comments. I really don't. I mean, that's not the purpose of making those videos, as is actually, to be honest, the Dawah channel. Generally, we're not. The only reason we use those criteria is just to see that the success of it, hopefully the message getting out to the people. And in this particular case, there's no freedom of speech, clearly, because they are shadow banning a lot of our videos. I had one about freedom of speech, for example. Ben, mashallah, may Allah bless him, Ben Ikra, who does a lot of editing and does a lot of our, mashallah, videos. He looks through he looks through all the algorithms, he looks through all of the feedback and everything else on the analytics of the channel, analytics of the videos, and he instantly knows that looks like this one has been shadow banned, this one is being shadow banned. Clearly, the authorities, as they are looking into what we're doing, and complaints are being made, suggestions are being made to YouTube. We do know that government policy is that they do sometimes intervene, and they do put pressure on YouTube to shadow ban things and to restrict things. And unfortunately, I think it is happening on some of our videos. So what I would please urge you to do, we've got nearly 600 of you watching, please at least look. Some of us can't maybe go on the marches. Some of us can't donate huge amounts of money. I understand that. Some of us are very busy in our lives. I fully appreciate that your obligations may be such that you can't spend too much time on it. Please just share the videos. At least let the message get out to the people. And hopefully it will change people's hearts and their minds when it comes to the Palestinian issue with the Israeli issue. What is remarkable, and I think I remember listening to Professor Norman Finkelstein on this, the political scientist who himself, as many of you know, is a Jew, ethnically Jewish. Both of his parents are Holocaust survivors. He is very astonished, he said, pleasantly astonished and surprised at the level of support that the Palestinian people are getting, especially from Generation Z, the younger people who themselves are completely disenfranchised by governments who are clearly corrupt, who are clearly suppressing and oppressing their own people in their own countries, where many of these youngsters are feeling that they don't have the sort of opportunities that perhaps my generation, Dr. Imran's generation, have had. I'm not going to include Jordan; he's too young to be included in our generation. But, and they are now looking into these things, and they're investigating these things. And many even hardened Israel supporters who formerly were Zionists are turning around and saying, look, this is genocide. This is wrong. Our governments have been lying to us. Our media has been lying to us. And it is affecting people. So when you recommend our videos, and when you hopefully push those videos out, maybe it just allows people to have a little spark. When we start mentioning academics, Jewish academics like Elon Pape, Professor Norman Finkelstein, who is the other one? Gabor Mate. Gabor Mate, who himself was a child and a Holocaust survivor. Okay. And when we sort of mention these names, even though our videos might not necessarily be good, I'm not saying that they are good, but people may go on to these academics and look at some of their works, and that will have a significant impact on how they judge the issue, because these are Jewish academics who are heavyweights, really heavyweights, when it comes to this issue of Palestine and Israel. Some of them are previously Zionists themselves. I think Elon Pape actually served in the army, if I'm not mistaken, in the early days, if I'm not mistaken. And yet their works are groundbreaking, analysis of the issues, and it really shows up the brutality and the utter genocidal, psychopathic direction that Israel has taken against the Palestinian people. And this is not about being a Palestinian supporter or being a Zionist supporter or being a supporter of any football team or nation. This is about being a supporter for justice, for fairness. This is about being just. Before I get too passionate, let's get Adam O'Flynn on. Sorry, guys.
It would be, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter who the people are and who's
Exactly.
doing that.
Exactly.
On either side, it's just not. This is absolutely.
Can I add to your thing, Abbas? Because Brother Hamza Sources has put out a really good. He's sort of done a book on the sort of arguments and how to deal with Palestine, Israel, and it describes a lot of what's going on over there. It's a PDF. You can download it free. I've seen off Sapiens. So,
if you can get us the link, Jordan, just put it in the comments and we'll put it up on the screen for people to access. I mean, it's all about educating ourselves and hopefully educating people as well. And my brothers and my sisters, history will look back. People will look back in history, and they will see what's happening today. And these people that are supporting the genocide, like the Americans, like predominantly European leaders, like predominantly the European press, they're going to be looked at in a very, very harsh way, and quite rightly so, because what is happening is textbook, according to Craig Mokaiba, the United Nations human rights lawyer who was working there for 31 years. This is textbook genocide. These are legal people who've been trained in genocide, who were involved in taking other countries to court for genocide. So these are not your average day, everyday sort of, two guys in a pub or a coffee shop just talking and calling it genocide. These are people who are well trained in recognizing what genocide is from a legal perspective. And they are saying clearly what is happening is textbook genocide. So all of these people who are supporting Israel blindly and arguing for the Zionist cause are actually supporting textbook genocide, and you're going to be looked at in a very, very sad way, not just by people of your country or the world, but I'm sure even your own relatives, your sons, your daughters, your grandkids are going to look back and they're going to think, my granddad was a genocide supporter. Shame on him.